What's up, guys? This is Astranox. 2 weeks of progression, 14 days for you guys. I still have the new player buff, still a few hours left. Let me talk about my progression, how I was able to get to this point, and how can you replicate something like this even as a new player. So, just showing you guys proof. I'm a free-to-play player on all my 5 accounts. This is my 5th account. I'm super crazy like that. Free sky stones. I'll go through the shop, I'll go through the mailbox real quick, and then I'll show you guys my stats. I'll talk about a bunch of stuff, show you guys my heroes, my stats, my gear, and I even have like my run for Banshee. I'm doing an adventure run to show you guys how I farm. I do a Zmanak hunt as well, and then I got some PvP in this video, just a bit of summoning, and yeah, I mean, it's really crazy what I was able to pull off in terms of progression. And you can do the same because you're getting a lot of free gear nowadays when you play the game. And I'm going for bruiser heroes. That means they are tanky and I'm still able to pack a punch, deal a lot of damage, but I don't go down so easily. Have a nice amount of health and defense. And yeah, you can definitely do great things if you're able to heal yourself, take care of debuffs. So a lot of stuff to talk about. Okay, let me start off here real quick. How was I able to progress like this up to this point? 14 days, right? But I don't play just a few hours here and there. I have a lot of hours into this account. This is roughly like 200 hours to to get to that point. And I do have 10 6-star heroes. I'm almost in Abyss 80. Floor 78 is done. Not sure if 79 is done. But yeah, I mean, the issue is the entry tickets. I gotta wait every day for more entries. And you can see my adventurous path. I've been progressing in there continuously. And here we go here with a 5-star hero. Oh my god, this is the perfect hero for this account, man. Ravi, bruiser hero, and she's able to sustain herself. I'm gonna put her on a counter set. I'm gonna put her on immunity set. This is beautiful. I didn't have her before, and I'm definitely going to be building this hero ASAP. Love it, man. Like, this was definitely super hype right there. And I did a bunch of summons already. The 6-star potion that you can get from the adventurous path. I used that on Lorena because I needed Lorena for floor 62 in the Abyss against Saz, because you don't want to land any debuff versus him. You know, I put Daydream Joker 3-star artifact on her and she was able to do just fine and sustain her. Very easy. Lorena, I just needed her for the floor 62 of the Abyss, and to be honest, yeah, Lorena can be used in other places. You can use her in a Labyrinth, high morale team. You're going to be able to go far with her. And yeah, she's still a really good hero. You can definitely build her, do her specialty change. It's not going to be a waste. So the heroes that I've built, man, yeah, they are heroes that can, most of them, they are heroes that can be used in PvP, because the whole point of this account is to see if I can be competitive in PvP in such a short amount of time on a new account as a free-to-play player, even when the game has been released for well, almost 3 years now on the global server. So yeah, I mean, that is pretty insane if I'm able to compete this early on a brand new account. So I have my Charlotte on lifesteal and immunity, and you guys can go and check out my other progression videos. I have 2 days of progression, day 1 and 2. That's the first video, and then I got 4 days of progression, 6 days of progression, and I cleared episode 2. That was pretty hype right there. And then on day number 7, another progression video right there, I was doing Banshee 13. Banshee 13 was on farm. I didn't even have skill ups into my Charles that much. So shortly after that, I was able to skill him up, and the runs were, more successful. They were faster, and it was more reliable, and it's working great now. And to be honest, like, even if you lose a battle in this game, it doesn't matter. You don't actually consume your energy. You gotta complete, you gotta do a successful run for the game to actually consume energy. So when you're failing, you're not consuming any energy. So yeah, really cool. My selective summon was Charlotte, and she's a fire hero, but the goal of this account is to get into Banshee 13 and just farm it and farm as mana hunt. So I can have immunity set, I can have counter set from Banshee, lifesteal set, destruction resist set, and rage set on top of course, immunity and unity set from Asmana Hunt. So far, it's been going great. I've been really lucky with my pulls. The General Purgus, that's huge right there for a Bruiser playstyle. So of course, I've built him. I put a destruction set on him. I'm skilling him up. As we're speaking right now, as I'm speaking, I'm skilling him up and making him better. Farming the Catalyst, which is going to be a big part of what you have to do in the game. And Ruel of Light is the 5-star Moonlight hero that I went with. And it's really up to you. You can definitely pick whoever you want. Top choices is, since Arbiter Vigilant has a lot of counters, it's pretty insane how many counters he has. And yeah, I mean, just like a counter pick of Blood Moon Haste in World Arena RTA is going to be a complete disaster if you're trying to throw a bunch of damage at the enemy, because they can just pop him and then they have a massive like barrier, and they're just going to be really hard to deal with. So very problematic if you rely too much on Arbiter Vigilant. Ruel of Light is great. Like, she's really a solid pick. Spectre Tenebria is going to be extremely strong in terms of damage, and she can be used in PvE and in PvP, more so than Ruel of Light. But Ruel is definitely a top healer for PvP. And in a lot of cases, Ruel is like the better hero for sustaining your team, and she's very versatile. It's just a great hero. I decided to go with her because it just fits my playstyle. You gotta assess the situation. What is your playstyle? That will determine how you're going to progress, how you are going to which heroes are you going to build. Now, I mean, I should have said that information before, but this is not a guide per se, like full-on progression, very concise with a lot of information, and I just talk about that because I will cover these things in separate guides later on, right? But now it's a bit of like free-for-all with a bit of everything going on, as I'm showing you guys, my gear, my stats, a bunch of stuff, and show you guys my runs, and just comment on like about that, and give you guys a bunch of knowledge. So remember, if you're enjoying this, if you learned something from this video, smash the like button, because it really helps me out to get the video to be shown to more people, so they can discover my channel and get all that information, so we can get that knowledge transfer to happen. So I've been going on the Lilia's banner, and it'd be really good if I pull her. Now that I have Ravi, it's a lot of fire heroes. Like, you have to balance it out in the end. You don't want to build like a full roster of like ice heroes, unless like you're working on like you're making a Wyvern team and the boss is fire, so you want to build ice heroes. You can deal more damage, take less damage, and it's the way it goes. Now, I approached this differently. I didn't go for a Wyvern team, right? Farm the Wyvern, non-stop. I decided to go with a different approach, and it's Banshee for the slower playstyle, reactive set like counter, and not worry about speed, because speed is really hard to roll, really hard to get high speed. A lot of people complain about like, man, I can't get any speed for the life of me. And to be honest, like starting a new account or changing your playstyle where you're at in the game now can definitely be something that you can do and move on to Banshee and not do so much of Wyvern anymore. Banshee plus Asmana Hunt, and you can definitely be quite successful with that. It's definitely a great way to go about it, and you're going to be very versatile. You're going to be very powerful in PvE and in PvP, of course. Now, Wyvern, you get a lot of value out of speed, but that's something you have to worry about. Yes, you can go more often compared to the enemy. It opens playstyles like speed teams, cleaving, single target burst teams, but it's very hard to get high speed if you're not a day one player or you're spending money like you're well. Cleaving will not be viable, and to be honest, Cleave is dead. The Cleave has been dead and is getting worse and worse as they release new heroes countering Cleave even harder. So that is pretty brutal. Like there's Light Angelica that was released not too long ago, few days ago, not even a week. And yeah, that's another hero to mess cleave playstyle. So yeah, a lot of counters like a Politis, very, very annoying. Not having to worry about speed is definitely a massive deal, and that should be the way to approach things as a new player in 2021. Definitely, you will be getting way more value out of like counter set, lifesteal, not worrying about speed, boosting your survivability, your health, your defense. You can see all my reputation stats. You know, I'm slowing down on the big ones, like how much energy I consumed, how many stages that I farm, things like that. But as a new player, I don't know if there's new players watching up until that point. Maybe you're like, man, what is he talking about? I'm not even understanding these terms, blah, blah, blah. But let's say you're still watching. In terms of progression, you got to work on a small core of heroes. 4, 5, 6 heroes tops. Like you don't want to work on more than 6 heroes early on. Assess what you want to farm. I don't even have anyone on my defense. I just put a 3-star there because as a new player, you have 14 days to actually, you get 100% more conquest points. And if you can stay in a place where the players are not so hard for you to deal with, then you can be victorious most of the time. If your defense is failing, you're losing on your defense, but you're winning on your offense, you can get a lot of conquest point, and that's a way for you to buy more gear from the conquest point shops, and there's bigger discounts as the gear was released further back, and you're able to pick these pieces that will help you to complement the free gear, help you you really like push your stats on your core team. So you want to be working on 4, 5, maximum 6 heroes early on, and you want these heroes to be viable for your hunt. You can see here in the Abyss, you want these heroes to be viable for your Abyss team as well. Like you want to push in the Abyss because there's so many free pieces of gear there. So I got 78 cleared, and to be honest, like besides Cez on 62, you don't want to land any debuff because he keeps on healing himself. You can drop unhealable debuff, and actually he removes 1 debuff, so you can have another debuff blocking, like behind, in front of the unhealable. So he will remove another debuff, and the unhealable will be blocking the healing that he can do. Or you can just run a full team of tank heroes, so Weavers, and just keep on using the Guardian to deal damage based on the target's max health. There's different ways to cheese boss mechanics in the Abyss. Raid, you can get some guaranteed gear with certain stats. At the start, same normal as Macalis, hell as Macalis. But to be honest, you have to progress with the adventurer's path. So you're working on a core team of 4, 5, 6 heroes maximum. You're progressing in the adventurer's path. What you're gonna do is you need a farmer. You need a hero that can, where the first set of free gear you're gonna get is when you complete the adventurer's path for Free Spirit Tieria, the free hero that you get. You're gonna get a speed set. To be honest, like Free Spirit Tieria is a hero that you can definitely bring to 6-star, and she can be your speed farmer. Like no more you need like Vildred to speed farm, or yes, Sigrid is very good from Selective Summon. So if you want to farm Wyvern because you want speed set, you could go Selective Summon Sigrid, and then you can have like Angelica, you get her for free from Connection. You can have Alexa built free from Connection, and you can have Furious built from the Connection. That's your team for Wyvern. That's your core 4 heroes already. Now add 2 more heroes, let's say, in there. You could have Free Spirit Tieria, that's your speed farmer, and then your 6th hero could be really anyone you feel like it would be a good addition to your team. To be honest, like a hero like Helga, she's got a specialty change, definitely very powerful. If you're going with that route, you could be using Alexa with her skills turned off for doing Abyss Floor 62. And you don't let any debuff, and you're able to deal with him. You put 3-star Artifact Daydream Joker on her, dealing damage based on the target's max health, because the bosses in the Abyss, the monsters too, they have a lot of health. If you're dealing damage based on the target's max health, you will be taking them out faster. But you can cheese it, like I said. You just bring a bunch of Knight with no debuff, Soul Weaver, and you just keep on using your Guardian as you get souls, and that's definitely like one way to go about it. So you can see I'll have a lot of things that I was able to farm, and I mean, bookmarks is definitely something you're going to be struggling with, and you gotta save your bookmarks at a certain point for limited heroes because they only come once a year. So that's definitely going to be important to do that. Initially, I was just spamming Covenant bookmarks. So you work on your core. You know, that 6 hero, like it could be like Lorena for dealing with floor 62. Lorena into Commander Lorena can definitely be very good for the Labyrinth. And she will provide you with a lot of morale so you can go and clear further. And pushing the Abyss is definitely something you have to do for Adventurous Path and also for getting the Destruction and Crit set that you get in Nyx Sanctum Zone 5. That's definitely going to be huge. Then you have normal raid as Macalis, which requires 2 entry tickets. Then you have Hell, you know, as Macalis that you have to work on. To be honest, with my gear, with my heroes, the way I have things working out, I could definitely clear all of a normal as Macalis, and I could down 2, maybe 3 bosses, actually 3 boss now in Hell as Macalis, if I went for that. But I didn't go for that yet because I'm pushing to Zone 5 in Nyx Sanctum. And that takes a lot of entry tickets because it's a lot of stuff. You have to like, there's like a labyrinth in there, like it's literally a labyrinth in Nyx Sanctum, and you have to take portals, like activate certain things, defeat different mini bosses to get to the final boss, and it takes a lot of morale to be able to get to that point. But after that's done, you can start working on your normal as Macalis, and of course your Hell as Macalis as you down the Queen, or you buy maybe the entry ticket for ancient, what is it again? Ancient coins, which is not something I recommend because you'll eventually get there. An ancient coin is very precious. You will be in need of ancient coins so you can buy charms for powering up, enhancing your rings and necklaces. That is the biggest bottleneck in terms of progression. Like to power your jewelry, it takes so long to actually get these things. That's why you run in the sanctuary. There's man, I forgot the name of the place. The place where you are running missions continuously. Put 4 heroes, you can run 2 missions at the same time. You want to do the hunt missions because they will give you ancient coins. Everything else, who cares about that, right? So just showing you guys like a bunch of stuff that I have on my account. We'll get to, you know, Banshee as Maniac Hunt, Adventure. We'll get to PvP as well. And I'll keep on talking about how you should be progressing in the game. And you know, you're going to be farming runes because you need to do your awakening on your heroes. Work on your core heroes. You need runes for doing your specialty change. And specialty change is going to be pretty important for heroes like Montmorency and to Angelic Montmorency, Lorena and to Commander Lorena. But to be honest, like Lorena was not a big part of my account. You know, Montmorency is not even a hero that I built because I was fortunate enough to have a Ray. Ray, you know, he's solid in PvE content. In PvP, not so much. That's where Ruel of Light comes in, and like limited heroes, which of course you won't have access to, like Dian, you know, Emilia. These heroes are really, really strong, like powerhouses, really. So you gotta wait until they show up as limited heroes. But you really have to figure out what is going to be your playstyle. If you want to do speed cleave, it's not gonna be possible unless you are planning to be a whale, spend a lot of real money in this game to farm like the hunts and eventually do like speed teams, you know, sub 1 minute runs, and you're just gonna farm that stuff non-stop. And you're going to spend thousands upon thousands of dollars into this game. And even then, cleave is not viable even when you spend that much money. So there is that. Now you can just tank it up, stack those layers of protection. There's different ways to boost your survivability so you can survive the burst damage of a cleaver, and then you can take them apart. And that is the efficient way to go about it nowadays, really. Like it has been pretty much the whole time. Cleaving has never really became the thing in this game. And like I said, even if you're gonna be spending thousands of dollars, you will not be able to pull it off, you know, successfully on a constant basis, because there's too many ways for the enemy to counter pick your playstyle, and they will mess you up, and it's not gonna be pretty, man. It's not gonna be pretty. So yeah, that's what I've been focusing on, like speed, cleave, speed, gear, and it's rough, man. I did that on account 1, I did that on account 4, even on account 3. It's like a hybrid between bruiser replay style and speed, some cleaving. You definitely want to work on one playstyle and stick to it, maximum 2. You know, you could be farming Wyvern, you can play as a bruiser, you can build bruiser re-hero and have speed, but you're not gonna be putting like massive speed because you need to balance your stats. But I do like the playstyle of counter set or lifesteal set, even though there's quite a few heroes that cannot trigger a counter set. So they will be releasing more heroes like that, which means like the value, like your counter set is wasted. It could have been stats like a speed set, let's say. So, you know, there's different ways to go about it. Definitely Wyvern is the easiest of boss to farm in the hunts. And then like Golem is really not that hard. But Golem is like harder than Wyvern, to be honest. Like Wyvern's the easiest. And then I would say maybe, yeah, it's, I would say Golem is not a place you want to farm. So the easiest would be Wyvern, and then it's Banshee, and then it's Golem, and then it's Azmanak Hunt, and finally it would be Katie's Hunt, which not a lot of players actually farm. So yeah, Azmanak Hunt is actually really hard, you know, compared to, let's say, Wyvern. It's a big difference right there. So yeah, just you know, for people that are wondering what's easier, why players actually farm Wyverns, because the sets are so good in terms of value. Speed set, you know, that's crazy. Like 25% of your base speed in stats, like 25% more base speed. That is huge right there. When you put that on a hero that has a nice amount of base speed, like over 100, of course. Some heroes have up to 129 base speed, which means you're scaling that. You're getting even more extra speed from that speed set. So you can have speed set with 4-piece and then 2-piece immunity. There's definitely different ways to go about it, but this time I decided to not 100% rush for Banshee, but yeah, that is my hunt that I farm, Banshee 13, and it's been working well. Now, in terms of like what hero to go for, selective summon, how to get to that point, let's say, so selective summon, you could go with Vildred. He could be your speed farmer. You could use Vildred for Banshee, and you could be building a Montmorency into Angelic Montmorency. That's your healer. This part right here, if you survive that, you're pretty much good to go. So boosting your health and defense on your heroes to be able to survive that is going to make it so you can have a better success rate. And after that, the boss will not split anymore. But if any of these monsters, the small Misty Chains, survive, the boss sacrifices them and deal tremendous damage to your team. But if you survive that, you're good to go, basically. So yeah, you need to worry about your survivability. Like if you can take care of that, you will be good. So yeah, boost your health, boost your defense. You can have Aureus on a knight, but still that knight will be taking a beating. So you gotta be careful about that as well. So yeah, your healer instead of Ray could be Montmorency. Specialty change into Angelic Montmorency. Now you could build, Helga is definitely a top tier hero. 3-star Helga, you do her specialty change. You know, Mercenary Helga, very, very good. Now Chloe could be your knight. You want an earth team or as many earth heroes as possible. It will simplify things. You'll take less damage. You'll deal more damage with your earth heroes. The boss will not be healing when she attacks an off element hero. She heals a bit. You can block that with unhealable, or you know, you can just deal more damage than that. It doesn't heal. That doesn't happen often. But yeah, the runs of Banshee is long. That's a drawback right there. To be honest, like most of the time when I farm Banshee, is like I go to sleep and I just start like, you know, 15 runs on auto because I have a 3-star pet that you get for free. The first pet you get is a 3-star hero pet, and that allows you to do 15 runs, right? So I just go to sleep. I have that running, and if the run is long, like, you know, 4 minute, sub 4 minute, maybe it's 4 minutes, 5 minutes, 6 minutes. Like, at least it's doing something when I'm not paying attention, right? So the longest runs that it's not adventure for me, it's really Banshee. So I just send my team in there, and even if you fail some, you're not going to be consuming energy, you're not going to be losing energy, so it's all good. So yeah, Hunt is not a place that I farm too much, really. It has been adventure on recorded history. That is going to be a big part of what you're going to be doing. You're farming that because you're going to be able to get 2-star monsters. You're going to be able to promote these monsters to 3-star, 4-star, 5-star. And you're going to be able to make your core heroes into 5-star heroes and then into 6-star heroes. And that boosts their stats. And you're going to be able to survive better. You're going to be dealing more damage. And everything is going to be easier when you make your hero 6-star. So that's something you're doing. You're making your heroes into 6-star later on by farming adventure and on recorded history. You're progressing, you're pushing into the stages to 3-star them, get sky stones, 5 sky stone per star on a stage you haven't started up, you haven't done before, or you haven't completed the requirements. That is a lot of sky stones in adventure, in episode 1, episode 2, episode 3, on recorded history, which is the epilogue 1. That is a lot of sky stones right there, and then you're getting a bunch of completion reward. When you 3-star every stage in the zone, you get the what is it called again, region reward. And then there's also in the story, when you push it, there's more reward that you get from that. So that's definitely very good. And then there's the AP exchange shop, where you can get rare catalyst and epic catalyst, to awaken your heroes. Don't worry about the 6th awakening. Really, 1 to 5, 1 to 4 initially, and then work on the 5th one, and the 6th one, that's going to be on the back burner. You don't have to worry about that unless it's really your core team that you're going to be using in a lot of places. These heroes, like my Charles, let's say, I bring these heroes in, well, not Charlotte, but I bring them in Banshee for the hunt, Asmanac hunt. I bring these heroes in Labyrinth. I bring these heroes in Raid as Macalus, which I only done one boss for the Adventures path so far, even after 2 weeks. And playing, so many hours every day, I have easily probably over 200 hours easily on that account already, right? But most of the time, a lot of times it's been running on auto because of the pet system. Auto repeat is great, but yeah, that's all. You don't have to pay that much attention at a certain point, but initially when you start an account, you gotta progress. There's so many things you have to do, but following the adventures path is definitely going to be a big deal. Pushing the story, 3-starring stages, working on starring up your core team, awakening them, the 1st to 4th awakening, then, later on, 5th awakening, and the 6th one on the back burner. And you're going to farm rare catalysts. And the epic catalyst, to be honest, will be better spent on skilling up. The last skill up of your skill for your core team. That is for 4 and 5-star heroes. You will need, MolaGora as well. So by completing regions in Adventure and on Recorded History, you will be getting, Adventure in episode 2 upward, right? Not in the early Adventure, the normal story, basically. So yeah, MolaGora, you will use those for your core team. Stigma for 3-star heroes, and a lot of rare catalysts. So you will go and clean up these AP exchange shops and look for the catalyst that you want and farm a certain zone that has the catalyst, maybe from a certain stage, and also from the AP exchange shop. So you're working on multiple things at once. You're making, you're getting monsters to make like 4, 5, 6-star heroes. And you're getting stigma, you're getting gold, you're getting gear, gray, white, and green gear. Item levels 51 and under, I use that to feed into the gear I want to potentially use. And also, you will be getting charms for your gear, not for the necklace, not for the ring, but you will be getting equipment charm for the weapon, helm, chest, and boots. And that costs less gold to power to enhance your gear, and you get a lot of experience when you enhance gear with these charms. But you cannot rely solely on charms because they are so hard to get, right? You will complement charms. You will power your gear with also the equipment, which is, gray color, white color, and green color. The rare equipment that is not usable, that you don't get from the hunts. Let's say they're not high item level, like item level 70, or usable stuff is item level 85, right? So the rare stuff, I will just sell those. The rare stuff from the hunt, item level 85, I will extract those for these ice cube looking things for doing equipment conversion later on to get some really solid gear. You can choose the main stat. For the gear on the right side, necklace, ring, and boots, and for the left side is static. You know, the weapon is attack, the helm is flat health, and the chest is defense. But there's definitely a lot of stuff, and it might be too much, too hard to understand what you need to do. But if you're following the adventure's path and you're always pushing the story, trying to clear new stages in Adventure on Recorded History, work on, you know, clearing episode 1. You got that done, you're getting a lot of reward out of that, and then you could either continue pushing into episode 2, or maybe it's too hard, you want to start farming maybe in on Recorded History in epilogue 1. You're going to be farming the earlier zones. It's the same as the story that you did, it's just harder, but you get better reward, you get more AP from there actually, so you can more easily buy rare catalysts. So yeah, you're gonna be pushing there, you're gonna be farming maybe, I'm not really farming the same stage often, right? That's not something I actually do, because I'm always doing multiple things at once. I'm always pushing in the story. If you have free time on your hand, that's what you want to do. And you're working on your core, and you don't want to just stay on the same stage forever, because you need to change the stage, you need to change the zone, because you're always working on getting different rare catalysts, right? You don't want to have like so many of one, and then you can't use that for your core team. You have to like go in Sanctuary, Catalyst, and start to convert them into another one, but then there's a lot of loss there, especially for the rare ones. You have to sacrifice 7 to get 4 of the specific one you want, and do that once per day. That's not worth it, to be honest. Only sometime I do it. Maybe I've done it, can count it on my hands, maybe 4, 5. It's less than 10 times so far. Maybe like 5, 6, 7 times. I don't know exactly. But most of the time, I'm just hunting for the specific catalyst that I want by using the AP Exchange Shop. Now, for the Epic Catalyst, that's where you want to convert them, because sometimes you luck out on certain stages where they can drop, and there's a side story currently where you're getting a lot of a specific Epic Catalyst. You want to convert those in the Sanctuary, and you want to max your building first to get the most value, get more point. To do the conversion from Epic Catalyst, right? You have to use 3 Epic Catalysts and then add 2 rare ones. That's when the points are maxed out on that building. And you will get in return the Epic Catalyst that you selected, 3 of those. So the loss is only 2 rare catalysts, which is not as bad as sacrificing 7 to get 4. You know what I mean? So of course there's 1 rare more loss. I mean, Epic is way more valuable than rare. Rare are very easy to farm, especially since they doubled how many rare catalysts. And Epic catalysts you can get from an AP Exchange Shop. And now we have 3 episodes out, so there's a lot of different places where you can actually get like a specific catalyst. Anyways, let's move on from that topic. But it is much easier now to progress in the game compared to how it was before. And you can see that my heroes, the heroes that I use for PvE content, I'm bringing them in PvP. And building heroes which can be used in multiple areas of the game is how you're going to put your resources to good use. So my mindset is just to build heroes that I know I can use in PvP content, and PvE I know I can just deal with it. Like, PvE content is way easier than dealing with PvP. So PvP, I mean, especially World Arena, which is RT, real-time arena, you're fighting players live, and they're banning, you know, there's pre-ban, then there's the ban phase, and then they can counter-pick you and, you know, take a hero that heavily counters a certain playstyle or certain, you know, hero, and you gotta, like, yeah, there's a lot of stuff. You can decide a victory just during the picking. It's crazy how important it is to pick properly and have a nice roster of heroes for the playstyle that you enjoy, the playstyle that you want to play as. So you can see how powerful Ruel of Light is, bringing a hero back to life at full health with invulnerability shield on them, almost guaranteeing the turn, and you can make a lot of stuff happen because of that. And she's able to remove debuffs before healing and applying a barrier with skill 2 and with skill 3. Instead of barrier, it's invulnerability. Very, very powerful stuff. So I'm making sure that what I'm using in PvE is also going to be something I'm going to be using in PvP, but you might be in a different boat. Maybe you only want to care about PvE content, which is way easier. But yeah, let us know what you guys think about all that in the comment section. I can't wait to get that box for immunity to reroll something bad. But yeah, let us know what you guys think about all that in the comment section. That was 2 weeks of progression in Epic 7, but that's going to be it for this one. I'm Astranox. Good luck with all ya do. Peace out for now.